episode 97, I had filmed it all, everything was done, and then none of the sound got recorded. And so we're here in the afternoon filming from scratch. We just hit 10K subscribers, so we're gonna do a 10K Q&A. Well, throughout my entrepreneur journey, my life philosophy has always just been honor the most highest truth. You know, like always act on your highest level of excitement, always follow that deepest intuition, because if you don't, you won't reach your potential. And if you don't reach your potential, some part of you inside is going to start to go stale and eventually rot. And that's going to create someone who is just unhappy most of the time. And so throughout my life, I've always moved towards doing what I'm most passionate about, doing what I think is the most important thing or the most meaningful thing to me, and trying to do it with as much grace as possible, like with as much honor as possible. And that's not always been easy, but that's what's driven me. And as I've gone through the entrepreneurial journey, I've realized that that's almost a universal thing. It's like when I see other people doing the same, they're usually satisfied. When people are really going for the thing that they want to go for, even if they're not even close to succeeding yet, as long as they're on the road to going where they want to go, and that thing is true to them, they are happy, or they are happier, they're peaceful inside, they know what they are doing is like true to them. So the question is how to cultivate patience and think long term. And I think it's just about understanding that the time's going to pass anyway. And if you can extend your time horizon and increase your production consistency, meaning you set a goal which is all about production and not about the result, but you secretly know inside that if you do the production that the result will likely come, that's how to be more patient. So with Ecom Soup, for example, for the first month, there was less than 200 people watching. And the goal was never to get to 10,000 subscribers. It was to publish 100 videos in a row, clicking the publish button. That was the goal. And as a result, we have 10,000 beautiful human beings who have subscribed to this church of ecom. The question is, how do you define balance in your life and work, and is true balance achievable? This is an interesting question, and I think this really just depends on who you are and what you want to do. For me personally, I think that because I love building brands, making videos, running my mouth, I can live in a world that is like what other people would consider to be imbalanced, because what I'm doing I love. It's like telling a surfer, hey, go surf for 8 hours a day. I'll pay you for it. They'll be like, yeah, okay. When you do something you love, I don't think the balance thing comes into it. And I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs get burnt out, and a lot of them try to find lifestyle balance because they're just not G'd up from the feet up when it comes to this game. It's not for them. They should be doing something else. What is the most underrated skill for entrepreneurs today? I would say selling is the most underrated still. And it's like obviously highly rated, but I still think it's the most underrated. There's still not a lot of people who can really sell something. And I think everybody brings their emotional baggage into the idea of selling, but realistically, all it is communicating value. Knowing who you need to communicate value to, finding that person, and just showing them how this thing that you have is going to help improve their life. No sleazy business, no manipulation. If you can know how to do that, and you can do that, you can finesse that skill, you can make any dream you want come true. And that's a fucking beautiful thing to have. What advice would I give my younger self at the start of my entrepreneur journey? And this is a question that comes up in the comments all the time. Like, what would I do if I was starting over? How would I go about business? And it's crystal clear to me that I would tell myself, become a freelance copywriter before you move into ecom. And the reason is, if you become good at copywriting, you'll start to get clients. You'll learn more about what you need to do to sell, and you'll get paid to do it. The flip side to that is that if you go into ecom, you're probably not going to succeed until you're good at copywriting. In fact, it's highly likely that you're going to fail and waste your money if you're not good at copywriting, because copywriting is more than the words on the page. We've done a million videos on this channel about what it actually is. And so I would say, number one, be a hired gun, freelancer, copywriter, get good at it, master the game as best as you can. And then when you're sick and tired of these clients breathing down your neck, you find that good idea that you're passionate about, that you want to do, then move into ecom. That's the advice that I would give to myself, because I was starting with nothing, with no experience. If you're starting with a little bit of money and you're starting with a little bit of experience, then it all changes. You know, Harry and I were living in Bali for a while, and I kept seeing on Instagram or somewhere like bamboo toothbrushes showing up. And she was running this little Amazon store called adhd, which was bamboo cutlery made in Bali. And I was like, Harry, I really think you need to get these bamboo toothbrushes on your store. And she was like, yeah, I do, but I don't want to ruin the integrity of my brand being made in Bali. And I can only get the bamboo toothbrushes made in China. And so we kind of talked about it on and off for a couple of months. And then we sat down one day at a cafe and she was like, I want to do more than just adhd. And then we came up with the idea of Zero Waste Cartel. And then less than 4 months later, we had scaled a bamboo toothbrushes ad to $10,000 a day. And that just came from intuition. Like there was something about these bamboo toothbrushes at that particular time that seemed cool to me, that gave me an emotion. And I felt like I could take that emotion and channel it through advertising and media and content. And now we're here. So the question is, how do you transcend your bubble of emotions so that you can see reality clearly? Because you need to see reality clearly if you want to be a successful business person. I think it all just comes down to asking yourself, is this true? Is this fundamentally true? Or is this an opinion? And that gets really difficult. Take a look at politics, for example. You got your right and you got your left, and you got no room for jumping over the other side and seeing what they're seeing, or no room for empathy. If you're feeling like that, then you're thinking like that. And if you're thinking like that, then you're seeing like that. And if you're seeing like that, then you're only seeing half of the story. And so it's really important at all times that you're asking yourself, is this fundamentally true? Or is this an emotional association? And if it's an emotional association, that's cool. Doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything. It just means that you need to figure out what the truth is. And so when you're looking at people, when you're looking at trends, when you're looking at mathematics, you need to know the truth in everything that you're doing. Because if you don't, you go busto pretty quick in business. And so I would just say, continuously ask yourself, is this true? Why is it true? How do I know it's true? With everything, full stop. So the question is, how do you truly be open-minded? For me, it comes back to knowing that who you are, if you're doing the right things, if you're respectful, if you're kind, if you're loving, you're enough. You know, like you are actually, that's all you can be. And everyone's trying to be more than they can actually be. But you're enough just if you're those things. That's all you can ask for. And if you know that, if you know that's the truth, then you stop having to use your ego to hedge against things, because you already have this relationship with yourself that's like, you know, we're pretty much all the same. But the people that are kind and the people that are respectful and the people that are doing good, that's as much as we can hope for. So I no longer have to try and be something, which means I don't need to have these beliefs that are protecting me because I'm already enough. This is how I see it, is like, if you're feeling insecure in yourself, you're latching onto things, you're latching onto beliefs, you're latching onto things because they justify, they're protecting this feeling from coming out. And so you need to work on knowing that you're enough. How do I stay ahead of trends without getting overwhelmed? Well, the answer is I don't. I focus on my flywheel, which is Facebook ads, emails, customer experience, and then social media. That's all I focus on. People have called me stupid. They've tried to instill their own FOMO onto me by not doing TikTok Shop, by not going hard on TikTok ads. But we just focus on the customer. We focus on communicating with them. We focus on trying to understand them better. We focus on trying to innovate products so that they're more happy. And I feel like if you're focusing on those things, technology, when it comes to you, will always be looked at through that lens rather than this fearful lens of, oh, what if I don't get on AI and figure it out? That's not how we're thinking. We're thinking about doing what we need to do. And then when we see an easier option come about, then we'll leverage it and do our job more efficiently and more effectively. Today's video has been a little bit disjointed because I fucked up with the sound earlier in the day. And I'm actually happy with how it came out, and Robin found some really great questions, and I feel like this discussion is going to help some people. So, you know, today's video 97, tomorrow's 98, the next day is 99, and then it's 100. See you tomorrow.